Okay, hi everybody. Um, this is Becky. I think you all know me. Coming to you from Ghana. My internet actually has been pretty dang awesome since we've been here. So that's an interesting shift. It feels like a lot of things are not as difficult as they have been coming back this time. It's been kind of interesting. So I'm going to apologize in advance for the quality of the picture, and that's just because it's dark here. It's dark outside. The lighting inside is not really great. It's just, I'm trying to find a spot where you don't have these lights glaring in your face all the time, but as you can see, I have one on every single wall in my room. So sorry about that, but let's get going. Okay, I'm actually really excited about this. I'm excited that it resonates so well with most of you. I think this will be really fun. So we're doing a body talk session, a group session on anyone who is interested in this. If you did not reply with intentions, you can still go ahead and access this session. Just maybe jot down a couple of intentions of your own before you get going. And if you don't even get that far, we will just include you in the matrix of the group. So hopefully that will address your intentions even if they haven't been stated out loud or even if they haven't been here. But if you have a chance, go ahead and write down some things. It just makes it a little bit more powerful and a little bit more fun to play. So let's just start off by reading some of the intentions that have come in, just so we can put them all out there for purposes of bringing up the priorities for this session. First of all, we have overwhelm and guilt about not spending time on things that matter most. Feeling frustrated that I feel I don't have time for those things. And this has to do with the contrast between what's important and what's urgent. So spending your time on things that are urgent just because they need to be done right away, you have a deadline, and maybe at the neglect of something that might be actually more important. So I don't know how many of you feel that, but I got a bunch of dittos on here. So I'm not alone. I'm not alone in this. Yeah, actually lots, like 3 or 4 dittos on that. Another one about the tyranny of the urgent. That's awesome. So much time on dishes, laundry, meals, that immediate needs. When it comes to bigger projects, time is an issue. I find myself spinning in circles, not knowing what direction to go. I totally get that. I do that too lately, just because there's so many choices and so many options and everything feels like it's important. Do you guys feel like everything is important? Yeah, it's even hard to prioritize because everything feels like it's important. So little gets done here and and nothing gets finished. Yep, feeling that. And actually all of the brain work that we're doing about all the stuff that we need to get done, that we need to work on, just leaves us feeling exhausted all the time because we feel like we've thought about it so much, we feel like we've done it, but we haven't. So there's that. Having so many things in the pending state all day long. I think it was Saturday, I just worked on closing open loops, just trying to get as many things finished so that I could put myself in that trajectory of that energy of finishing things. Sometimes you have open things that just can be done in just a minute or two, and then they hang over your head. You keep thinking about it, thinking, oh, I got to remember to do it, when it's easier just to do it. So I totally get that too. Yeah, sorting through stuff and its relationship to people and relationships. Too busy to finish tasks, too busy to do healthy behaviors, too busy for my personal goals, too busy to get off the hamster wheel, just keep running, doing the same things. How many of you can resonate with that or relate to that? Another comment about more time spent on urgent instead of important things. My to-do list is longer than the hours available in the day, and this has been going on for years. Yep. Yep. I'm just so dang busy that I never get anything done. Yeah, that's what we're working on tonight. Okay. Mental clutter, replaying conversations. thinking about everything I need to get done instead of just actually doing something, anything, and sitting in general. And I think this is I think we all struggle with this just by virtue of social media, because we can get on Facebook just to check one thing, and next thing you know, you've spent who knows how much time and haven't really accomplished anything. Yeah, just scrolling through here. We got lots of comments on this. You guys are awesome. Too busy to make the comments on this post. And more about mental clutter, letting go of those things that I keep thinking are going to pan out so I can focus on the opportunities that want to work with me. But I'm too busy finishing one last thing to make the leap while the momentum is there. I resonate so much with so much on here that's already been said. Tired of being overwhelmed, not getting done what I want or need to. I have a little more time to put to things than I do. I know I have a little more time to put to things than I do, but I get emotional, overwhelmed too. So glad we're working on this. Even though my to-do list is too long to be able to get done as well, I feel like my issue is with order versus chaos. Okay, we can work on that too. Putting in the effort to establish order and routines. The more I do on that, the harder it gets. The more I crave order, the more aware I am of the disorder, and the more it influences me. That kind of reminds me of being a professional musician. There's a joke amongst musicians that when you first learn a piece and you play it, you think, man, I sound pretty good. And then when you actually really deep dive into it and really practice it and really concentrate and focus on learning it, then you realize, I sound crappy. This is terrible. But really, you sound much better than you did when you started, when you thought you sounded good. So that's funny. Okay, should we get on with it? I know you guys got stuff to do because we're all busy. A lot of unfinished things hanging in the air that all feel urgent. I think that kind of sums up everything that we're working on. Okay, let's do it. Take some deep breaths and just relax into the session. I'm going to bring y'all into my sanctuary. I have actually a special part of my sanctuary that specifically is for group healing sessions. So I'm going to bring you all in there where we have enough room. And first thing we're going to work on is the story around being busy. The story of busy. It's kind of the way we all grew up. We learned how to do it this way. And in some part of our culture, there's some part of our culture that glorifies busyness because it makes us feel like we're important. The more busy we are, and this is related to learning how to do busy from when we were little. So the story of busy. And this is actually linking to active memory of every time you've told somebody you're too busy for this, or I'm just so busy, or you've said the words out loud. I'm going to call them busy words. Every time you've said the words out loud, I'm just so busy, or I'm too busy for that. I'm so busy I can't get done the things that I want. Like all of that self-talk and that chatter, every time it comes out of your mouth and it creates itself, right, as a reality. So we're going to bring in active memory of all of that. And then we are going to link in the collective consciousness in our culture, how much of our culture is based around too busy. And one way I really see this is in the difference between Ghana culture and American culture. Because in America, we cram our activities full. Like we cram our schedules full. We cram our schedules with more than we could ever possibly do. And over here, it's interesting because sometimes I'll see people just sitting in their shop and they're not really even doing anything. And I wonder how on earth how can they even do that? Because it's so foreign to me. But it's just a different way to live. There's another piece of this. Oh, we're in a general environment of the to-do list. Some of y'all have like more than one to-do list. So, because I know I do too. So the general environment of the to-do list. And part of that we write down so that we don't have to remember it in our minds, right? So we have a list, we don't have to remember it, but at the same time, it's like it gets heavier and heavier and it just hangs over your head. Like that. And you put things on there so that you will remember them, but there's no way you're going to get all of those done today. And you know that you're not going to get them all done today, but you just put them there so that you remember. But there's something about the to-do list and the energy of the to-do list that those are the things that need to be done today. So that's a little bit funky energy too. That makes things complicated. Okay, we have a parallel formula underneath this. We have a secondary matrix built around a belief that I have to get everything done. And this secondary matrix has a cousin, another secondary matrix, built around the belief that I can't play until I'm finished with my work. Can't play till the work is finished, right? Those are actually going to link to each other, and then that is going to link to, I just call them the shoulds. These are all the shoulds, all that brain chatter that goes on. Oh, I should be doing this. Oh, I should do this. Oh, I got to remember to do this. Oh, I should do, like all the things you should do. And all the beliefs that create that. Because all those shoulds are things on your to-do list, right? Let's see. There's another link here around movement. That movement in and of itself is virtuous. So it's virtuous to be moving. It doesn't really matter what you're moving on, okay? So with this, we're going to do a sub-session on this piece where we're actually going to install file folders in the brain where we can start to separate out what kinds of movement that is. Is it the urgent? Is this in the urgent pile? Is it in the important pile? Is it in the things I got to get done, you know, to survive? Is it things, you know, just all of the different compartments so that you aren't just, like all movement is not created equal, right? But we want to be able to discern. So that's actually going to link to stomach consciousness of discernment. Being able to discern priorities. It's kind of like, you know how your body has a similar chemical reaction when you're afraid of something as when you're excited about something. So your body actually will feel the same way, whether or not you're afraid of something or whether you're excited. It'll have the same reaction, like your heart rate will speed up, might get nervous about something, and your brain needs to know which of those two it is because it will feel the same. So it's that same idea around movement. Your brain needs to know which kind of movements are worth more valuable. Okay, let's tap out. First priority, we're tapping out. Tap head, tap heart. Big breath in. Very nice. Okay, the next thing we're doing is bringing in a chaos to order plugin. And this is linking to the consciousness of judgment. Anchoring to heart for those of you that are body talkers. So this is about the judgment that we put on our chaos. So that causes us to take a lot of time and energy to try to get out of it, right? To try to fix it. And this links to divine chaos. This is through planetary energies, actually. Divine chaos. Some of our chaos that we're in is actually by divine design. Whenever you're shifting to a higher vibration, I don't know those of you that have seen that sound plate video, I just want to remind you, when you're changing to a higher vibration, those frequencies dissolve the design into chaos so that they can come back into order, right? So there's a period of chaos between every shift and vibration. And some of you are shifting vibrations all the time, especially if you're doing a lot of work. So it's going to feel like you're living in a lot of chaos, a lot more than you actually are. I mean, it's going to feel like chaos to you, but some of it is by divine design. Some of it's just chaos, but some of it isn't. So divine chaos, chaos with a purpose. And we're linking this to wisdom, consciousness of wisdom. And we're going to go ahead and tap that out. Okay, nice. I feel like some of you getting stressed out about having to take the time to watch this video. I'm going to take a big chillax here. It's linking to not taking ourselves too seriously. We actually did some more work on this in the studio session meditation that I just recorded today about organization of your time and your space and your stuff. So having more fun with things, not taking things so seriously all the time. And this links to the glass half empty, the glass half full. So many times we see on our to-do list all the things we don't get done, and so which causes us to feel further and further behind. And we don't ever acknowledge the things that we do get done. So even if that's taking a shower, yeah, give yourself credit. I give myself credit for that stuff. So, because it takes time, right? And it takes some amount of organization, and it's part of your busy. So this is about acknowledging with gratitude for yourself and respect for yourself the things that you do get done. And we're doing a vibe axis so that to help us be able to see that. So rather than seeing the glass half empty, we can see it half full. We can see all the things that we do get done. And we want to put our focus on that. So we've actually got a switching link here too. We want to switch our focus, because obviously whatever you put your intention on is going to grow, right? Whatever you put your energy, direct your energy toward, it's going to get more of. So this is important, because if you're always focusing on everything you're not getting done, guess what's going to happen? There's going to be more and more and more that you don't get done. But if you can shift your focus to what you are getting done, then that will grow the other direction. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to tap that. Got some musculoskeletal shifting happening here. A big Parama link coming in here. We have an emotions plugin. An emotions plugin, and it's linking to optimization. So here we're optimizing how we're processing emotion, because that's just a huge to-do thing, right? That takes a lot of energy, just processing all the emotion that you come in contact with, other people's emotion, your own emotion, all of that processing. We just want to make sure that process is optimized. So we're going to do the emotions plugin and optimize that just to help your body be more efficient and effective at that. When things get backed up emotionally, that's going to back up things in your physical world too, right? Yeah, so we're working with this consciousness of backed up and bringing in consciousness of letting go. I'm going to have to tap it out. There you go. You guys are ready for that one. Because after all, tapping out would just be another thing on our to-do list. So let's be more efficient at that, shall we? Okay, so we're doing a balance of the... Okay, this is interesting. So we're working with the primary masculine and feminine matrices. And a subsession on that, we're going to do a masculine feminine balance plug-in on those matrices. So what this does is, if your masculine your masculine energy is designed to, that's the energy that you go out and get stuff done, right? You're going to go do that. And the feminine energy is more of a nurturing and drawing things in. If you're nurturing things, you're drawing things in, you're developing the relationships. That's going to make everything go better. When you get out of balance, you spend all your time trying to go do stuff, and you don't have the resource of being able to just attract things into you, if that makes sense. So you want both of those, and you want them to be in balance, because you don't have to work nearly so hard going out to work on things if the feminine is being able to draw them into you, right? So masculine is going out to get it, feminine is bringing it in, okay? So think of this in terms of relationships, think of it in terms of work. So we just want to make sure that's all balanced. It feels like we're just heavy on the masculine energy. So we don't have enough time for the relationships and the nurturing that needs to happen. Another link here. General environment. General environment of family, relationships, friend relationships, just relationships in general, but specifically emphasizing family relationships too. And even in our family relationships, it feels like those are overwhelming. So that's linking to the Chinese 8th house, which just is about having lots of plates spinning. So if you have a large family, or if you have a lot of aspects of relationships that you're trying to balance and spin all those plates and keep them all going, and sometimes you feel like you might lose one or drop one or something, then that's what this priority is about. Okay, we're going to tap that in. And lastly, we are going to bring in an essential oil by my book. Okay, this is the oil of birch. So this is about grounding. And this has to do with, oh cool, it's the oil of support. So what happens sometimes too is we get so in our head trying to manage all of the stuff that's going on up here that our energy gets pulled up in here. And we want to make sure it's pulled all the way down and that it anchors down into the earth, which is what grounding is about, right? So hopefully most of you know how to do that by walking in the grass or on the ground with your feet on the ground, not in rubber-soled shoes. If you can't do that, even just imagining yourself, picturing yourself standing on the earth and with roots coming out your feet, growing down deep into the earth, that will help too. And sometimes you can just pull your energy all the way down and then anchor it out through your feet into the ground. We want to make sure that that you're not all up in here all the time, because then it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be hard. So this is cool. So, okay, so we're going to tap this in. Birch also helps individuals to feel their roots, specifically their connection. Okay, I'm going to start from the beginning. I just skipped because this spot here is really specifically what we're going to do, but I think some of this beginning part will actually serve some of you, so I'm going to read the whole thing and just grab whatever is applicable. So birch offers support to the unsupported. When a person is feeling attacked or unsupported by family or friends, birch offers courage to move forward alone. Learning to be flexible is important, but so is gaining a strong backbone. Birch offers support to the weak-willed to stand tall and firm in what they believe. And then this is the part that we got to. Birch helps individuals to feel their roots, specifically their connection to family and ancestors. Birch is a tree that stands tall and firm and assists others in doing the same. It assists in overcoming negative generational patterns, especially in situations where one is at risk of being rejected if they choose a different way. Lends its spirit to endurance to help individuals face trials of adversity so they may weather storms with the strength and conviction of a tree. Birch teaches there is more to life than pain, and that with right support and the right grounding, one can help be held up and sustained by divine grace. So we're going to bring that in, oil of support. I think one of the things that, when we feel too busy and we feel overwhelmed is because we feel like we're alone. We have to do everything ourselves. I don't know, any of you ever feel like you have to do everything yourself? So that's what we're bringing this in for. And that's all we've got. I don't feel like we're remotely done. So let's see what comes up with this later. But for now, that is the end of the session. So thanks, you guys, for being here. If you watched all the way to the end, you're rocking it. I'm going to go ahead and upload into the Life Studio Master Course the meditation on working with your studio on organization and time and space and your stuff. We've got a lot of cool work to do with that too. So hope this has been helpful, and drop any comments in the comments, and we'll see you soon. Bye.